Good morning, good morning. It is Motivation Station with Rose and Sanjay. Rose, good morning, good morning. Oh, you look
Hi.
shocked for a second. What's going on? You good?
My other phone was on the way up, so I didn't want to hear myself twice.
Nice.
So it's good
Um,
to see myself and on screens, but the hearing part should be only one. So
I'm trying to figure out why that's happening. Wait, can you talk again? Sorry, I'm just testing stuff.
that's okay. How are
Oh,
you?
no, I'm good. I am doing well. How are you doing?
This week has been a beautiful coaster, a very
Yeah,
beautiful coaster.
I
I
feel,
went
yeah,
from
go ahead.
let's see, I went from angry, sad, crying, screaming, happy, everything. It was everything. It was everything, which happens very rarely. It's just like, have you ever had that? Like, one news can change your whole life and just change of plans. And that's exactly what happened to me. Is I'm going to New York, obviously. I don't know what's going on with the TSA lines in airports. There's an endless line,
Mm-hmm.
and with the police, they're holding up the lines as well. So I have no idea if I can even travel.
Yeah.
But obviously, I can. It's just I have to make sure that I make it to the plane. And on top of that, I have a couple other things that's happening. Uh, I've been waiting 4 years for my date and one of my important dates. It's just happened 3 days ago. And
Nice.
when that news came, my whole plans changed. Like, I usually do like you have your dreams and goals in the beginning of the year, your target, exactly what you're doing
Mm,
every month. And here it's like one news and like, okay, scratch the plan, we're rewriting it.
yeah, yeah.
And the best part to do is actually to be flexible. It's very important to stay flexible in these moments because obviously you need to calm down too. I need a day to calm down and see what's really happening. So it's a
Yeah.
lot to it, but we're not gonna get all detailed on this beautiful note. So,
No,
but
I
I
mean,
do.
I get where you're
It's
coming from.
beautiful things happening. I have been working on a visualization, and it's been beautiful. I just had my health coaching client, so I'm pretty excited about that. Things are really happening, and every day I started saying today's better than yesterday. Today's
Mhm.
better than yesterday. And when you go to sleep, you say tomorrow will be better than today. Those
Mm.
keywords been kind of really affecting me in a higher vibrations, and it's really vibrating,
No, I mean,
working.
and I'm glad that's working for you. Like you literally said it. We've heard it plenty of times too, where you're just manifesting the what you want, right? And being able to say those words as words of affirmation and motivation, the night before, the day of, even in the moment, it goes pretty far. But I understand that it's been quite the ride, but better to have any movement at all versus no movement. You know what I mean? Like, it might not be great, it might not be good, it might not be bad either, but you're moving along, right? You're in the direction you want to go in. And sometimes you'll stumble, sometimes there'll be a smooth ride, but you take the New York subway, right? It gets you to where you need to go. It might not be the most comfortable ride, right? But it gets you to where you need to go.
You know what? It's entertaining. I love subways. You never
Yeah.
know what you're gonna catch in there.
Oh yeah, no, it's
It could be a one show, another show.
the people playing music, people fighting. And
It
there's
could
always
be
something.
somebody with a banana head. You never know.
There was a guy who was just motivated to get on the subway the other day. That he put like the bar you hold on to. He held on the bar and then he hung himself upside down the whole subway ride. And no one questioned it. No one was like, "Oh my god, oh my god." They're just like, "All right, well." can't
It's
stand
the
near him.
subway.
Yeah, they're like, they don't stand near him, might kick you in the head, but that's about it. And I was like, okay, all right, fair enough, that's cool. My daughter's birthday. Sorry, I should have called this out
Yes.
last
Oh
week.
my goodness.
It was my daughter's
26.
birthday on
Happy
the
birthday,
26th.
Lulu.
Thank you, thank you. We took her to New York. We took her to a bluey kind of theme store. Well, it's a kid theme store, but that day it was themed as bluey, right? So like you go
Mhm.
into the stores, there's a secret bookshelf that takes you to this back room that looks like Bluey's house, and we walked around, and she had a blast. But more so, like I wanted to just celebrate her birthday in New York because I was like, yo, it's New York, right? You've seen Instagram, like she had to wear the most extra dress, right? Because it's like my wife was like, what do you want to wear? And she chose this dress. She had the little happy birthday crown. She's like, oh,
Of course.
she was like, up. I was walking around New York, and everybody
She's
was
a
saying happy
princess.
birthday. Everybody was like saying you look beautiful, and like it was like peeking her out. So she had a good time. She was exhausted because we had to take a subway to like 42nd, and then we walked back to Port Authority, which we walked underground, but it's just like a long way underground.
It
So
is. It is.
we had to make a game out of it. So then like she felt motivated to go, and of course we fed her sugar to just kind of get that going. But she had a blast, and like I appreciate the people that reached out and said happy birthday. Um, and like I don't know, it was just a good time. So I was definitely happy about that, and it was funny because like that day I was like motivated to make sure I leave early enough to make sure I get time with her, and it was the one day that there was a problem, and I was like, of course. So I didn't panic because like that's what I end up normally doing is I panic and I'm like then I get upset at work, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. And I was like, you know what? Everything's gonna be fine. I'll be a few minutes late. I'll get
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
Everything be good. And that kind of thought process itself just kind of goes far. So but outside of that, like it's been a roller coaster on my end as well. Like work has been going good. I was actually sick, and I think you can still kind of hear it too. But
Yes.
Sunday, like the week before, my daughter was sick, and then I'm always the last to get sick. So she spread it to me before she felt better. So Sunday night, I started feeling a tickle in my throat. Monday, I worked from home. Tuesday, I worked from home. Wednesday, I finally sucked it up and just went to the office. But I'm still kind of like fighting through it. I like just have a slight runny nose, but that's really just about it. Um, but then outside of that, like the whole realization about my car blowing up the week before that, is still like hitting fresh. Like there's days where I feel like I'm doing better, and then there's days where it hits me, and then like I have to car shop again, and I'm like trying not to be bad about it, and like it's like get a family car, like don't get sports cars. Like you have a sports car, just build that one. But like I got a rental. Excuse me, I got a rental, and it's a nice car. I don't think I would buy one myself off the bat, but I got a Audi. I got an Audi A3, right? And it's a very nice looking car. It's a very smooth car. My mom has driven it like here and there to like drop my wife off at like the gym and things like that. And I was like, I would get this as an SUV, which is possible, but it's a little bit more expensive, but it's possible. But it's such a nice, comfortable, smooth ride. The car looks good. And so I'm like, all right, I don't want to get your normal, like I can get a really reliable car like a Honda or Toyota or something like that. But it's like
Mhm.
maybe I'll dip a little bit outside, a little, just a little bit, and I'll pay a little bit more to make sure the car's in a good place. But I gotta talk to my car guy. Sometimes he talks sense into me, and he's just like, "You're an idiot," and sometimes that's the only response I need. And I'm like, all right, deal. I'm just getting a Honda, or whatever. But yeah, honestly, it's just been a very exciting week in general because a lot has been happening, right? So I reached out on Reddit about like, hey, we have a podcast, and like since then I've had some people reach out. We have a guest next week that's from like Reddit, but I was mentioning that my friend Zeek wanted, like I met him for his birthday. We went out to lunch, and that was the same day I blew up my
Mhm.
car. But we went out to lunch, and it was like one of the most fun lunches I've ever had in my life. Like we were like, you ever like go out for food and the conversation is so good you forget to eat your food because like you're just talking so much, right? So the food was still warm and hot because we had ramen and some dumplings and stuff like that. But the food was like delicious. The place was gorgeous, and like we just started talking because I got to know him a little bit more before that because we're involved in a project with one of our friends, and he was on he was commenting on the show last week, Stefan, and I know he wants to be on eventually too. I just got to catch him when I can, but we're both kind of like working with him to kind of help him grow. Like we're trying to get him out there because we love his story, and in this process, I got to know Zeke, and I was just like the little I started talking to him, I was like, this guy is so driven. This guy is so like just out there in a way that it's like beautiful. And like the more I talk to him, I asked him two questions. I was like, one, I was like, dude, the world needs to hear you, bro. Like, do you want to be on the podcast? Like, I would love to have you on the podcast. And he's like, hell yeah. Like when I told him about the podcast, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And then like he said he had like signed up, and then like he couldn't catch the timing. Last week he showed up, and then like he was like, yeah, like this sounds exciting, and I would love to just kind of share his personality, his passions, his dreams, what gets him going, things like that. But more than that, like I told him I want to get into filming too, and I was like, dude, I would love for you to be like in my film too. And he was like, yeah, dude, let's make things happen. And I was like, you know what, this is the year. This is the year that we're gonna make things happen. This is the year that like I'm gonna stop procrastinating, things like that. The only procrastination I had right now is I haven't gone to the gym in like 4 days, but that's really because I don't want to be coughing, sneezing, sounding all congested at the gym like this and risking other people getting sick. So I'm hoping tonight or tomorrow I'll go back, but I try to be kind of self and safe about it. But yeah, so I don't know, like I was just like, this guy gives off such high vibrations, as we were just saying before the podcast, and I was like, it's such a beautiful thing. And like I'll bring him in a second, but like just even the one thing that he does that kind of just makes me like, damn, this guy is just something else, right? So I messaged him this morning. We'll talk throughout the week, and then like this morning I was like, hey, good morning, I'll send you the link to join the podcast in like 15 minutes, right?
Mhm.
And his first thing he says to me is Grand Rising. And that's his form of
Bonjour.
saying, it's his form of saying like, like good morning, but saying good morning in such a fantastic way that it's just like such high energy. It's just like high Grand Rising. It just shows like this level of appreciation to like, um
Morgan made it to
like we want to.
USA.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan is traveling in the US. I'm going to block that off
All
for now.
right,
But yeah,
JFK.
Morgan says good morning, y'all. I'm in the US.
Please tell me how is the
Fuck Alaris.
situation with the traveling situation there.
It's gonna be different for her versus you, um but like she'll have less trouble. But damn, you're at JFK. If you would have told me you're going to
That's
JFK, I
no,
would have
no,
just met you
not
at
us.
JFK.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, hang in there. Hope you can enjoy the show while you're there. But anyway, let's I want to bring Zeke in, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. Oh, I see you're preparing yourself. All right, so without further
Good.
ado, welcome, sir.
Ezekiel Williams.
Zeke, my boy. How are you?
Good morning.
Oh, wait. Do I have you muted? No, I don't have you muted. Maybe I do have you muted. What is happening with my?
Yes, beautiful. Hello, Zeke. Say Morgan.
Oh,
There you
nice
go.
to finally meet you, Miss Rose.
Flying back from Paris. Yes, nice to meet
Hello,
you too.
Wynette. Hello. Oh, in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Morgan has been traveling, and she was actually telling me that she was flying back. Why in JF? Oh, because you're flying from JFK out to your
She's
next.
having a
Okay.
stop, probably.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, welcome back to the U.S. Enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
But Zeke, welcome. How are you, man?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. Like I said, sun shining. When the sun is shining, I'm smiling. That's
Yeah.
just how it is. I'm always, getting on my fiance when it's nice out. I'm like, so, are we going out? Are we going to the park? Are we running around? Are we playing some tennis? So that's how I am. I just want to go out, go to the mall,
Hmm.
just walk around and just soak up all that sun so it can, revitalize me and get me going. So this is getting into my favorite season now, spring.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the flowers blooming and all
Aw,
the bees and birds chirping and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I'm doing good. How about y'all?
that is amazing. I have the tree around me, and it's always like so many beautiful butterflies on it. Of like a beautiful big ones, like monarch. They call them monarch, I think. Yellow, black, and very dark ones with blue and a dark blue and orange. It's like,
Yeah.
and they're so huge, and there's like eight of them constantly over there. I feel like the whole heavens came to like visit me this week, and it's happening. It's so fascinating. Definitely love the beautiful season cherry blossom. I'm sure you guys going to see the cherry blossom.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
got a
Yeah,
few over here.
yeah. I
we
gotta.
have a decision maker here.
They they do cherry blossom in Newark, and I think I went. I don't want to say I
Mhm.
went last year. I think I went 2 years ago. But the funniest part is wherever we
French
were.
Park, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we were like maybe on the opposite side, so we actually never saw the cherry blossoms, but they were doing an event, so there's like food, music, dancing, stuff like that. So we stayed there, but we're like, damn, we never actually saw any like cherry blossom trees. Like, what the hell? But this year we're gonna try to go and actually park in the right area. But
I
yeah,
would
like
fly to Japan to see sakura.
yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that
Oh,
itself is
flying to Japan.
yeah,
Yes. My cousin actually got a chance to go to Japan for work, but he was there, unfortunately, not long enough to where he could have a residency, but just enough to a day before he, like, if he would have stayed one more full day, he would have been able to have a residency. But
Wow.
when he was there, he was like, yo, everything is exactly how it sees an anime. So, all the trains are different colored and different anime themed. They
yeah,
each have a different chime and bell. So you know exactly which one to get on. He said even the roads are, they're made so that way if you're seeing impaired, when you're walking with your cane, there's a specific lane for you to where you
yeah.
can feel the braille and stuff on
In
it.
the road,
So
yeah.
he said, yo,
Or so
it's decked out. Like, this is what America should focus on
yeah,
trying to become. I said, yo, I can't wait to go. I
yeah.
cannot wait.
We're gonna make especially when we make stuff happen for a complicated author. We're gonna be traveling a lot more. We're gonna have to do
Oh
a
yeah.
business trip out to Japan at that point. And I'm actually hoping, and I'm in such high energy about it, right? That this year, I think I mentioned on the podcast last week. My friend and I were talking, and we're like, when did we stop giving up on our dreams? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, we got so busy with life that we forgot this stuff. So recently, I might have told you, I started getting back into like anime again. I'm like, when did I like all this go? Like, when did I become like an adult and just like worry about like stuff that's beyond my control? So I took a step back. I'm watching like anime with some friends again, and we made a vow to go to Japan in October, November this year, and like it was like a
Wow.
vow we made as kids, like me and him. And I told my wife and kid, like, listen, I love you guys, but this is a dream that my friend and I made, and we're gonna have
Right.
to go, right?
This
And
is
we're
a
gonna.
guy's trip dream.
This is a
Okay.
guy's trip, but I think I think my favorite part out of everything is just gonna be like he's like, "What do you want to do there?" And I was like, "Dude, nothing. I just want to go." Right? I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to go there and just be there, just be part of like there, right? And I love what you're saying about it because your friend, or the person you mentioned that went, you said that like it's just like different there in the sense of like I'll put it in such a weird way, but I think it'll make sense to you. The world in Japan is so much more colorful than it is here, like than anywhere that I've seen. Right, so there's beauty and color everywhere. Even when I go to India, right, it's gorgeous there, right? It may be dirty, of course. I mean, India is not the cleanest area or whatever, but there's like a level of beauty that exists with the colors, right? But Japan just kind
Hmm.
of hits it out of the ballpark. And even like my friend went, damn, last year or something like that, and he only went for like a few weeks or so, and he's like, dude, it wasn't enough. But he's like, it's just it's a different level of existence. He's
Yeah.
like, I went there, and he's like, I wanted to try the different foods, and like he experienced like funny things that you see in anime. It's like, the people who go out to drink after work and things like that. Like he's seen that level of like
Wow.
work where people literally finish work and just it's like a ritual. You go out to drink, and a quick story I'll share about that is like he told me he went out to eat once and he had to go to the bathroom. And it was just when like people were getting out of work, and apparently people were already drunk, right? But he went to the he went to the bathroom, and there was a line dedicated to people going into a stall to throw up. and it was like dedicated to that one stall, and that's it. So people were lined up, just like like drunk, right?
Just swaying,
Just like swaying.
back and
So
forth, trying not
and
to fall over.
they're not taking up all the bathrooms. He's like, "What is this line for?" And then like he realized the other stalls were free, so he went there. But it was literally like they go there, they throw up, and then they just go back. And I'm just like, "What the?" Like it's just like
Yeah, like what is
amazing.
that? A
But
culture around drinking too much.
it's just like it's so entertaining. It's so peaceful. Like my dream would be to absolutely live in Japan. Would be like it's doable. It's the craziest part, and like
Oh, yeah.
I'd be sad as shit leaving all this stuff here. But like it's
And our
just
dollar goes a long way over
yeah
there. That's
yeah
what my
yeah
cousin was saying. That's the one who went to the
yeah
trip.
it,
Shout out
yeah.
to
I think
Xavier.
the last it was like 160 yen per dollar, and yeah, it goes up and down.
Yeah.
It goes far. Just like even going to India, I was telling my friends that I have a friend who like loves like seeing stars, and I'm like in the US it is so hard to see stars sometimes because all the pollution and whatnot.
Yeah, all the light pollution is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but like in India, I live in the village. The sky literally looks like a canvas, dude. It looks scary how clear you can see, and it's endless. Like you look in any direction you want, and it's just like endless stars. And the moon looks like you can just literally grab it.
Yeah,
And
just like bring it down
yeah,
really
bring
What
it
I
quick.
down to
have
you.
in
Yeah,
my forest.
and
Hmm.
I like my house in India, which I think is absolutely insane. But shout out to my mom and dad and the people that supported us. My house in India is like 3 times bigger than my house here, right? And we have like this very big open roof in India, so like you can just go up there and chill and relax and like just like have like a really good time, And I was telling my friend like, if you want to see stars, I'll take you. I was like, once I take off and get rich, I will fly you out there and we will just sit there and just like watch the stars like all night. It is honestly gorgeous.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That's a place I want to visit too, because I see a lot happening over there. I like some of the cuisine. When I go to see some folks who are from the Middle East or India, they're always trying to feed me, and that's just their culture. They're like,
Oh,
"Hey,
Yeah,
you're hungry? You want
yeah.
some of this? You want some of that?" I'm like, I see. With me, I'm a food head. So if you offer me food, I'm gonna want to say yes. It's very hard for me to say no especially when it smells good too, and you're just like with the showcase, like, here, look at this. You want some
yeah,
of this? Try it. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, sure, give it to me. Just give it to me.
So
So I
it's
tried a couple of different cuisines, and oh my gosh, the flavor is just explosive. I'm like, yes, give me more, please. The next time I come over, I'm waiting for that, and then I'll wait for that. And they're like, yeah, I'll have this and such ready for you the next time you come over. Thank you.
dude,
So I love it.
I think we talked about like food. Well, besides the episode being called "Food for Thought," right? We're literally talking about food, which is even better.
Right.
We were talking. Even Rose was talking about like I forgot what I was eating the other day, but like I was just eating like a quick lunch, and after that, I was like, yeah, I don't know how often I'll do this, but we were literally talking about like the palette, right? So there's times where Rose made lunch and she would show it, and it's just like full of color. Just is like full of fruit, veggies, green leaves, whatever it may be. But it was like just full of like color and life. And I remember like just really quick, just having a quick lunch one day, and I looked at it, and I'm like, this doesn't look good at all. Like, like when because I just picked up lunch or whatever. It was filling and it was quick. It was cost efficient, but like it wasn't like a gorgeous plate of food. It was just like
It wasn't vibrating.
so
Yeah.
after that, like now, like my wife and I started going to the gym. We started cooking again and stuff like that. So we started making food again. And the other day, my wife made me a plate of food, and it had like quinoa,
Pokeball.
it had like
Yeah.
corn, it had avocado, and like I was like, damn, like it's all very colorful food, and it was very filling. It was very satisfying. Like I didn't feel guilty after eating it. So like,
Yeah, because not only
um,
do you eat with your taste buds, but you also eat with your eyes, right? So
yeah,
there's something
Yeah.
that pulls us to it when it's colorful. That's how candy companies get to you and things like that, because they make it all colorful. Ooh, try this new
yeah,
chocolate with all
Your
the
mind is like,
fruits and things
woo.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're
yeah.
like,
No, but
ooh,
but
that could taste good.
but to your point, like when you're eating food, especially when it's made with okay, so eating other cultural food, I think is probably the most communicative form of love ever. right?
Yeah.
Like if you ever go to someone and they're like, hey, come over, have some lunch with me, like dinner and stuff like that, right? It's one thing that's like, hey, let's, you know, you want to go out to eat, let's go to Longhorn Steakhouse, right? It's like, cool. That is, I think, like a nice little professional, hey, we're gonna eat, we're gonna talk, we're gonna catch up. That's what I kind of do with my best friend Jazz, right? Is like, if I think if he and I had more time and I'm trying to make that time now, I would rather cook a meal and be like, yo, come over and let's
Yeah.
catch up, right? But I know time
Even
is,
cooking together, you know, that
yeah,
can
yeah,
build that
that does
bond
a lot.
too. You
I'm trying
know
to do
that.
that more with my wife. We bump heads a lot, but we're getting there, right? But well, like
You got to bump heads in the same
Come have
direction.
my
That's all.
homemade sauerkraut.
but
Homemade sauerkraut sounds amazing.
when we when people have called me over and like for their food, right? I think the biggest thing to it, right, is the fact that they cook it with like love, like just an authentic love. That's just like, you know, I love to cook food, right? I love to feed other people, and then on top of that, like I'm feeding someone I care about. And I think that itself just maybe makes the food taste better. And I'll say this to that, why? Because I started a new job a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to be on the healthier side. So I'll get like a whole wheat wrap with like veggies and avocado and stuff like that. And like the lady who makes it, like I'm just like, it's such a simple recipe. It's just like spinach, tomatoes, cheese, you know, I do like light chipotle mayo sauce or whatever, but it's such a simple thing. Like it's just a simple wrap, right? But I bite into it and like it tastes absolutely amazing. And I was like, you know what? I took the longest like time to figure out why it tastes so good. And she's like, why is that, honey? I was like, because you make it with love. She's like, I do it every time. I do it every time. And like she was like just shining, and I was like, I get it now. I get it. So I've had people call me over. I've never tried or seen food ever in this kind of like culture or life, and I'm just like, this is some hidden gem stuff, because like this is absolutely delicious. When we went out to that lunch place, right? First of all, I love going to hole in the wall places, right? And to me, like this place may exist somewhere else. Like you said, it's a chain, and like the other stores aren't
It's a
exactly
very
like
small
this.
chain. It's
Yeah,
they're all
but
different. They're anime themed. It's called Ryaki Ramen.
yeah, but
It's fantastic.
it was such a homely experience, dude. I
Oh
thought I
yeah,
was like
Japanese
I
street food.
literally thought I was in Japan and just chilling. And me and your and like the lady just kept coming back. And like you know what the funniest part is? I think she was concerned that we weren't eating because the food wasn't good, and that's why like I kept seeing her face, and she's like, "Y'all still
Yeah,
here
she
after
was
20
concerned.
minutes
She was
and
like,
you're not
Are
eating."
they gonna eat? Are they hungry?" Because when we first got there, y'all, to explain. So when you walk in, the first thing you see is just a big screen showing, you know, Japanese TV shows, and then you look around. They have different figurines of different animes. So they have Dragon Ball Z, they have Bleach. You know, some of the big name brands, Naruto. When you look on the wall, there's comic strips painted all over the wall too, from different because of course those are mangas. Actually, they're different mangas posted around. So and then they had like this nice waterfall glass display there too. But it's literally like Japanese street food spot. And you go in, and then they give you this just one sheet of paper, and it has all the list of food items that you can get, and you just tally off how many of the item that you want, and then they take it back, cook it, and then bring it out to you. But me and Sanjay just started hitting it off,
That's an
and
experience.
they came over like 3 to 4 times out of a series of 10 minutes while we're just sitting there talking. And they're like, are you guys ready yet? Are you ready yet? We're like, oh, sorry, another, 3 minutes, another 3 minutes. And 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, we're like, all right, let's actually like look for food.
Yeah.
So we marked it down and then sent it back. So that's why she was looking at us like we were crazy, because we were just talking as soon as we walked in.
Dude, it was such like a pleasant experience. I was just like blown away by how delicious the food was. The presentation was even better, right? And it was just, I mean, I think for me it's also important that the company is good, right? Because I'm not
Right.
gonna lie, I have eaten out with people who it really hasn't been fun eating with them, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean like they're not entertaining people, but like
Mhm.
I think like when you hang out with certain people, like there's like a like it, you can kind of feel when people like hang out because it's like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever, let's hang out. Then we hang out and we don't do anything. So like in a way, it's like we're better off just not hanging out because we didn't talk before, and now we're hanging out in person and we're not talking now. Like there's no difference, right? But like
Right.
you know, I feel like it might have been a more heightened experience for us because like yo, we were so authentically happy. We were just like so like in a vibe, right? Like we were. I mean, it wasn't that packed. There's maybe like two or three other customers that were there, like other people.
Yeah, it wasn't that
And
many.
I honestly like just felt I was in an anime and it was just me and you. Like dude, Zeke, you could realize this. You watch anime, right? And they're eating, right? And like
Mhm.
it's like one person is talking to the other person. The restaurant's full of people, but all you hear are the two people, right? That was
Right, the two main
that
people.
was literally us, because we're just going back and forth. Even like
Right. At that point, I didn't think anybody else was talking because it's just
I
me and you just sitting there going over stories. I think everybody was listening to us tell
yeah,
our
honestly,
stories about life in the
I was
world. I
just
think
like, we're
everybody was
at
more
home.
interested in our show
Oh
than
my
they were
god,
about what they had going on. So
dude.
it
And
was a couple of people in and out just being quiet. I'm like,
I
oh,
think
I don't
two,
care.
I
I
think
like just
two
eating and
hours.
talking.
I think like 2 hours flew by, and
Oh, yeah.
we
Like,
didn't even notice. We didn't even like notice. Dude, we gotta go over there again because that food was
definitely.
delicious.
Well, I'll take you to a different one too.
Yeah, yeah,
That'll
yeah.
be
Because
cool.
yeah, try it. But
They're
anyway,
all delicious though.
I mean, like I said, like the last week, like I was telling Rose a while ago, like, dude, Zeke, you're just like so full of energy, right? And
Lie.
yeah,
Tell us your
even
secrets. Tell
even
us your secrets. How to stay this lively all
e-
the time.
even like Morgan's here, and
It's
Morgan's
hard.
just like, I love this energy, and I'm just like, dude, I
Yes.
know everybody would appreciate Zeke. I know everybody would hand on heart appreciate Zeke, and like even like the little I know about like your partner, right? Like I was like, you guys like sound like you connect well together, and like she brings out the best in you, you bring out the best in her, and it's just like, dude, it's so like refreshing. So one thing like I always wanted to ask you because like I was like that's why I didn't want to ask you in person because I felt like it'd be a good
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 topic
conversation to
for
have
this.
here.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like you've kind of like always been this way? Did something kind of put you in the headspace to be here? And once you got here, like, yo, this is a fantastic place to be, and I'm just gonna stay here forever. Like, tell us your story, bro. What is going
So
on?
yeah, because so you and Rose have similar questions. So when I was younger, I actually was the opposite of what you see now. When I
Yeah,
was younger, I was very shy, introverted. Uh, the type of introvert I'm talking, even when I would go and spend a night over my family member's house at my own request, as soon as nighttime hits, I'm crying to go back home. I want to see mom. I want to see dad. I want to see my cats. I want to cuddle up to my parents and just, I just want to go back. So I'm sitting here, tears bawling. Everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. Zeke, get it together. You chose to be here, so you got to stay here. Like, suck it up. My cousin that I told you who went to Japan, he's like, you can't keep on, cousin. Like, he loves me that much. He's like, yo, you can't keep on doing this. You got to suck it up and stop being a baby. You got to just stay here, dog. We're not going to hurt you. Like, we're family. We're cool. And which they didn't. It was fun when I was over there. It's just something about nighttime not being with my parents at home for some reason freaked me out. I was always reserved. People would always, mess with me. I was the typical nerd geek guy. Uh,
mhm,
I got bullied for a while. And then as I got older, I started to know the internal power I had of being a jack of all trades, so to speak. So I didn't quite fit in one particular category, even though I was like I said, typical nerdy kid with glasses. People assumed that I was just going to stick with the nerds and the geeks.
yeah,
But then I would be with the band kids. I would be with the choir kids. I was into a whole bunch of sports: soccer, tennis, cross country, track, bowling, whatever, what have you, baseball, football for a little bit too. So I would hang out with those kids. And then after a while, people started seeing me as this person who was just everywhere, and they was confused a little bit. And then
yeah,
they started to get used to it and comfortable with me being around them. So then I kind of started, gelling on myself like, oh, I can do this. I don't have to be stuck in this box that people put me in. I can be, as fantastic as I want to be. And then, those same bullies that I had ended up looking at me and seeing me as a funny person and a cool person to hang around because I could talk about any subject. So they stopped being my bullies and started being my protectors. And I'm like one of the only people who has this story about how they turned all their bullies into bodyguards. But that's the type of person I am. I attract strong energies towards me. And then those strong energies want to protect me and keep me safe, which is cool. So then I started to break out my shell a little bit more with that, because I'm like, okay, there's nothing to fear now. Now I know I have this unique ability to persuade people just by having a conversation and kind of like standing my ground. And then I got to college and people, my cousin for one, we went to the same college. And the people he started bringing me around were all extroverts. So I would want to be, in the dorm, chilling, relaxing, playing a video game. They're like, no, Zeek, come on, let's go out and let's go to the campus center. Let's go play ping pong. Let's go into the woods and run around. Let's go work out together and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, guys, cool. And I'm kind of being ushered around by all these extroverts. I'm sitting here quiet. And then they introduce a topic of conversation. I'm yeah. So everybody started to get to know me like that. So when I enter a room, I'm quiet, I observe, and then after they would segue me into a conversation, then you can't get me to shut up. Now I'm just all going out. So that's pretty much how it happened. And then I realized that I didn't want to stay an introvert. I didn't want to stay sad or, cowardly or wimpy or reserved. I wanted to break out of that shell. And I'm glad I had my cousin to break me out of that shell, because then I was able to understand how beautiful and amazing everyone is around me. I started to understand that I can learn valuable lessons from anybody, even if it's the bad lessons. I can learn not to do those. So now I call myself an extroverted introvert, because I still have that in me. There is still sometimes where I want to, just sit and relax and stay inside the house and stuff. But for the most part now, like I said, when it's sunny out, let's go outside. Let's run around like we're kids again. Because I think that's an issue that adults tend to have, or that I've seen adults have, is that when they get older, they've been so used to being trained to be robots in the school system that they kind of suck out all of your imagination. It only takes specific teachers to kind of keep that keep that imagination going. It's not many. I only had like 3 or 4 teachers that would do that. Everybody else was kind of your typical run-of-the-mill teacher. So I determined that I didn't want to be that type of adult. I wanted to be an adult that still had the kid in them, that still knew that the world is beautiful, everything is magical, from the simplest thing of TVs to the most extravagant thing like buildings or roller coasters. Like, that's all magic, but we've been so used to it and conditioned to it to not see it that way. So we're just like, it's another day, whatever, nothing new has changed. But no, you waking up the next morning is a new day. That is a new time for you to experience something that you might not have experienced before. A new chance to look at something a little bit differently. That bush that you saw yesterday might be different. The colors might pop a little bit more depending on the sunlight that you have, or that it might be a new smell that's coming from around the corner. You're like, oh, what's that? That smells good. It might be somebody outside grilling or something. So just enjoying and absorbing all of that is what fuels me. I'm a Pisces, so I'm a natural empath. And I feed off of the energy that I'm around. So kind of how Superman with the sun is, how he absorbs the sun and now all of a sudden he's super strong. That's me, but with those that I hang out with, or those that I keep in my circle. So, I'd rather be happy and uplift them, so that way I can feed off of that. Thank you. Yes. That was awesome too. So it's just, that's why I'm able to stay hyped, stay happy, because I refuse to be sad all the time.
I
being
get it.
sad is one thing that can tear you down. It can tear those around you down because of most people who love you don't want to see you sad.
Yeah.
And most people don't want to be sad. Genuinely, we all want to be happy, right? We all want to go out into the world and just live life like we are in a movie or a TV show. And that's what I try to emulate that every chance I get, even though I know as an adult things cost money. You got to work to get somewhere, but you can also work doing the things that you love. I used to work with kids just because I knew that they would fuel my energy. Like I said, I would be able to siphon that childlike energy and then relay it back to them. So I would, oh yeah, let's go to the park. We're going to run around. We're going to go on the jungle gyms. I was like the only person that was doing that. Even the teachers was looking at me like, Mr. Zeek, you got a lot of energy here. Like, is this normal? I'm like, yeah, this is normal for me. I can run, play tag with the kids. I can play jump rope for 3 hours. I'm all for it. So, and the kids loved it too. So, because that's what they want. They want people to just get on their level. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you have to be boring. It doesn't mean that you have to teach boringly. You can show them, hey, even when you get older, you can still have this same amount of fun. You just have to direct it in a different way. So that was my job, is mainly teaching kids how to control their behaviors, how to control their emotions, when to fuel it, when to calm it down, how they can transform it to help those around them and things like that. So that kept me in my youth. I'm not super old, of course, right now. Even I think 50 is even young personally. So yeah, it's just a lot to life to be happy about. So I'd rather not be sad. I'd rather not cry over spilled milk, so to speak. I'll just clean it up. Oh, I can always go and get some more milk, or I can go to a farmer with a cow and say, hey, how is this made? Can you teach me? Let me learn. I want to learn.
Let me
So
get
that's
my
the
own
type of
cow,
person I
right?
am. Exactly. Like, oh, I might want my own cow. I had a couple
The
friends with chickens,
curiosity,
and I'm like, I might have to buy me a chicken. Don't got
the
no space for it. Listen, put it in the bedroom, in the corner. We're good. We'll figure it out.
I actually, it's funny you say that, because I actually have a friend that does that. They like eggs and so much fun.
Cat people all day.
They're like, we're just gonna get some chickens. They made a little chicken coop in the back. They bought some chickens, and now
Yes,
they
a
just do
lot
everything
of
at home.
people I know in Jersey do that.
Two things. So
Oh,
I
it's
say,
a lot of people in Jersey.
well, a lot of things I probably want to say, but the one thing I'll start with is, Stefan, thanks for coming by. Here's your
Oh
boy
my
Zeke
God.
on our show. Finally, we're
You
excited.
make your weather everywhere you
What's
go.
up, complicated
Never.
author? How are you?
I think I think that's why we get along, because there's a level of, I think that it's important to have someone who's opposite of you in your life, right? To show you
Yeah.
perspective, right? So having someone that like almost matches your energy is chaotic energy, and I'm here for all of it, right? And I think that's why we
Right.
get along, because even
Cheers to that.
even like you saying like I was a very introverted person. Listen, dude, me too. And like, we had our own reasons to be introverted, whatever it may be. But like I
Mhm.
was the people that, it's like Sanjay was nerdy. Sanjay probably just, I had like 4 or 5 friends that I would talk to on the daily, but I knew everybody and everybody knew me. No one gave me
Right.
beef. No one gave me a hard time. I'll be honest. As far as like fighting go, like physically fighting, I've been in a fight once in my life, like an actual fight once in my life, and I didn't know what to do.
With family only.
Yeah,
My brother. That's
it
it. My
was
brother and my cousin. Those are the only 2 people.
it was some kid across the street. I don't even know what I did. I think I took his basketball or something, and he hit me, and I didn't know how to respond. And then, like, that was a fight.
Yeah.
But anyway, like and the thing is, like, no one wanted to have beef with me, and that's fine. Like, I don't, if you did, you did, right? But like everyone wanted to protect me, which is a beautiful thing. And like you, and for you, it was family, right? And one of my episodes, I had one of my friends on the podcast, and his name is James. I think he was on a podcast episode where he was getting married, and we were talking about it. But I met him in college, right? And I met him in college the funniest way, because in college, like, I like to be like the studious person, so I just wanted to make sure like I can pass. And then on top of that, like in classes, right, I was the kid that if we had a group project, let me do 98% of the work to show up for me. you know, because like
Oh, okay. You don't want.
yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
I like doing the work. I authentically like doing the work, and I was like, listen, I'll get you a good grade, right? So
Right.
people
Just let me do it. You
just let
just
me do
stay
it.
in the
Like I don't
corner.
trust you.
I
So
got it.
yeah. So like you know, a lot of people wanted to, you know, get through school. I just people who would reach out to me and be like, dude, we wouldn't have made it through high school if it wasn't for you. And I was like, don't worry about it. I don't really care, right? It's high school,
Yeah.
right? But he always took me like, so I met him in college and we were in a math class, and like it was hilarious because we are sitting there and the teacher's telling us what the course is like, and it was actually like a remedial math class. So I failed the entry math test, and I was like, this is kind of sad, but whatever. But
Yeah.
you know, I had government payment paid for my books. So we're in the class and there's a kid that sits behind me, and he goes, do you need a book right away? And she's like, yeah, if you're gonna pass this class, you need this book right away. And he's like, I don't get paid for like a few weeks. Like I'll need some time before I can buy a book. And I can hear him like stressed out, like he wants to be like book smart, but you know, he struggles and stuff like that. Dude, without even like thinking twice, I picked up my book. I turned around. I was like, "Here, you can have my book." And like everybody's looking at me, and like I wasn't trying to be a hero or anything. I was just like,
Yeah. You were
I was
just
like,
being
just take my
you.
book, dude. Like I don't care, right? I was like, just whenever we have homework or whenever we have a test, let's study. And my professor, she hated me that day. She was like, look at this showing off type of kid. Like she's like, look at this arrogant bastard of a kid, right? So
She's one of
this
them
kid,
teachers, huh?
yeah, no, so that's how she started, right? But like, you know, I gave him the book. He's like, dude, like, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. We started studying together. We became good friends. He was like high vibration, and like he was a very extroverted person, right? And at the time, he had his girlfriend. Whenever they went out, my dude, they would be like, come. And I'm like, you're
Yeah,
on a
like
date.
just
Like, I don't want to come.
join.
That's a weird third wheel, right? But they never treated me in such a way that I felt like a third wheel. That was interfering with their intimacy or anything like that. They just wanted to take me out to show their appreciation, right? And he took me out like almost every weekend, right? I met his friends. I remember it got to a point that it was early in our friendship and it was his birthday. And we went to a lounge in New York. And somehow, after like a few drinks, I was dancing in between two beautiful women, and I'm just like, I never thought I would ever be at this point where, because
Right.
I went to the bar to pick up drinks, and as I'm walking back they start dancing with me, so I was like, fuck it. And I you know, I start, yeah, exactly, yeah, he's like, yeah, go ahead, whatever.
Yeah, you just start.
And he
Yeah.
starts cracking up, and he told me, he's like, dude, I never pictured you to be this way. And I was like, I mean, neither, right? But then that's the same realization, the realization that you hit too, like, yo, this is fantastic. Like this is
Yeah,
fun as
right.
hell. With the right people who pick you up and make you grow and make you like put you out there, like it's such a beautiful thing. And like we hit it off, and and it's funny because you're the only other person that I've heard say that about like anything, right? That I'm a extroverted invert, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I started saying. Like people are like, oh, you're an ambivert and stuff like that. I was like, no, I grew to be this way. I like there's times where
Yeah, it didn't just
I'll go
happen.
somewhere like just like you. I enter a room. I'm not loud. I'm quiet. I'm observant. If I get involved in conversations, okay, maybe I'll pick up. Maybe I'll be a little bit louder, and you know, things like that. But like, I'm not naturally like, hey, I want to be talking. I want to be the center of attention. I
Right.
hate being the center of
Exactly.
attention at that point too. But like, if we're talking like this, like I know for a fact, like right now, all eyes are on me talking, right? And like, I don't mind it because right now the conversation, the company, everything that we're doing right now, it just feels so good, you know. And I actually love the fact that you said it in such a way that it like you hit like a realization that you're like, yo, I'm fantastic. Like
Yeah.
I'm fantastic, and the right
I
people will see
often say
this.
I'm awesome to people.
Yeah, no,
Often.
absolutely. You know, I tell people like, yeah, I tell people I'm effing fantastic at times, and like I do it in such a funny way. I was like, I don't get why people don't like me. I'm fucking fantastic, you know, like or whatever.
Yeah, that's
But
basically how I say I'm awesome. I'm like, yeah, I'm awesome. That's why I did this thing.
like, and it's funny because like the right people will be like, dude, you are, and then they'll want to stick
Exactly.
around, which is beautiful. And I think the beauty of it is you'll meet people who don't vibe with you, don't have that energy, but like
Of
it
course.
doesn't even phase you.
They
You're
learn
just,
eventually.
like and if they do, right? Like it's like who said this? Damn it,
Be
was it?
contagious.
I think it was no, I think it was
Yes.
Method Man. It's the weirdest conversation, but it's like I want you to eat, just not at my table. right? Because it's like I want you
Right.
to
Yeah.
make it through life. I want you to do what you need to do, right?
You don't wish badly
You don't
on
wish upon
people.
bad. I want
You
you to be
wish that
fed.
they learn how to
Yeah,
better conduct themselves.
yeah. But listen,
But over there, like
yeah,
do that
exactly. It may be
that
with
way
me.
because I'm too busy being awesome over
Yeah,
here, and I can't
exactly.
have you
Like
messing it up.
this table's a little too.
Yeah.
No joking, but it's like I want you to make it too. Just we might just not connect together. And they also say if you're a friend to everybody, you're an enemy to yourself, right? So you also have to kind of like gauge where you're giving your energy. You have to kind of gauge who you're
Oh yeah.
investing into. Like I think I was telling Rose even in the last few podcasts that I was investing a lot like when I say a lot of energy, like I'm just empath like the rest of us, right? Like I
Mhm.
just keep giving and giving and I don't get burnt out because like you again, Zeke, I was thriving off the fact that when I can give to you and somehow like I don't even do it so that you're grateful, right? Like that you're grateful for me. I don't do it so you can say to me, Sanjay, like you're fantastic, like thank you for this, right? I don't do it for any of those reasons. But when we hear shit like that, we feel rejuvenated. We feel like
Right.
reborn. We feel like I'm on fire. I can punch a freaking wall or like that kind of like level, right?
Like it's
And
not required, but it's
but yes,
always
yeah,
accepted and
yeah,
appreciated when it happens.
exactly. But like I think we're just like naturally like that. And like the thing is, I kind of learned deeper that I do feel burnt out though. I do feel like in a different level. Like I'm just like, I kind of wish somebody said this shit to me, and like it didn't necessarily make me sad. I was just like, people, but there are people that do. And then when I realized, I started saying it to people that do, and not that I don't say it to the people that don't, but I kind of took a step back from them, right? I took a step back from some people who I offered everything to and the world to, right? And they're just like they don't, not that they don't like appreciate my efforts or anything like that, but like it's always me being there for them, right? It's always me
Right.
like just, I'll put it this way. Time is ever ongoing, right? So I love when we talked about like every day is new, right? But
Right.
just even beyond that, dude, every second is new, right?
Yes.
The 3 seconds I just took to say that is already gone. And now we're in a new 3 seconds. So now we're in a new time,
Right.
right? And it's honestly keep going. And just like Rose had said in the past, and we talked about it before, right? It's not about having time. It's about making time, right? And there's
Creating
people,
it.
no, not creating it. Time is always going. Time is constant, right? When like we're all like 80% of people in the world are absorbed on their phones, right?
Yes.
Whether
And
you're
fully or in a screen in
on
general,
a screen
just
or whatever, right? They're
yeah,
on it, right?
just zoomed in.
If I say hi to you, it takes me less than 2 seconds to say, hey, what's up? Right? If you can't say hi back, that's not a time issue. That has nothing to do with like, oh, I'm too busy, I can't say hi back. You're choosing not to make the time to say hi back.
Right.
And
You're
that's
choosing
the
to
really,
do other things
yeah,
on a
because don't
screen
get me wrong.
besides saying hi.
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. People work. People like
Of
literally, there's
course.
people who are absolutely, honestly busy. I get that, right? But like, it doesn't take too much effort to just say, hey. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And it's a choice. It's honestly
Especially
a
for
choice.
people who are on their phones a lot.
Exactly.
Like I'm a
That's the
type of
worst part.
person,
I know
I'm
you're
not
staring. Yeah.
necessarily on my phone often, especially on weekends. I'm really not, or after work. I try to, like I said, do other stuff. I try to go outside. I try to be encapsulated with the people around me than I
Yeah.
am trying to be on my phone. So I try to fill my weekends with stuff so that way I don't have the need to look at my phone,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
you're
I don't
doing
always want
life
to.
instead of watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't always want to do that. I want to make the movies. I want to make the shows. My life is a movie. My life is a video game. I'm
Yeah.
player one. I can't stay stuck in a virtual reality when my reality is so awesome and amazing. I gotta go out and touch things. I gotta feel the air. I gotta be a part of life because, like you said, it's ongoing. Time is just an illusion anyway, made by humans to kind of figure out their little minute things like work. But it's whatever you want it to be. I'd rather not be on my phone. I'd
Yeah.
rather be interacting with those around me and the things around me. I'll sit in the woods
Yeah.
for an hour, 3 hours hiking, chirping at the birds. I'll try to mimic how their chirps are, or try to see if I can get them to call back, and it usually works. When I was in college, I used to do that all the time. Me and my friends, we're gonna go in the woods. We mapped out different pathways. We charted different things. We even labeled them, so everything has a name. I still remember those names today. And we used to just go back out there and relax. We used to take branches and twigs and sticks and turn them into bow staffs and whips and stuff like that, and practice our martial arts. We used to spar with each other out in the woods and stuff like that. Like I said, go on jogs back there. So that stuff fueled me. That made me, that transformed me into more of an extrovert now. So now when people see me, I'm an extrovert. That is just what it is. Even though I have that reserved side, I'm an extrovert now. But I don't dislike it. I enjoy it, because this is where I wanted to get. I wanted to be comfortable enough to meet new people and be able to have a conversation like we're doing right now, to be gracious enough to be invited to a podcast, to where now more people can get to see the type of person I am and get to see how animated I am, because this is what I want to give out to the world. I want them to be able to feed off of my energy like I feed off of theirs. But then going back to what you were saying before, there are those people who they're negative siphons. I'm a positive siphon. They're negative siphons. So they'll put out negativity out there, knowing that you'll probably give it back to them, and they feed off of that. Think of like leeches or anything like that. They love that. Like parasites. Parasites feed off of negativity. They love it to keep them going. So those people you got to watch out for. You got to try not to give them exactly what they want. When they say kill people with kindness, sometimes you have to. If they're like, oh, I hope your day goes blah, 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 and you're a horrible person. Okay, and I love you too, and I hope you succeed in life.
Yeah.
Bye. And that ticks them off to the max. They hate that. It's like they're repulsed by positivity, but I don't want to be negative to you, because then you're bringing my mood down, and now, because I'm an energy siphon, I'm feeding off of that negative energy. Now I'm spiraling all day. Like, oh, man, I can't believe it. I hope their batteries in their remote dies, or I hope they got wet socks. I'm that type of person. I'm a petty negative person. I don't wish death on nobody. I'm not going to wish jail on you. I'm not going to wish a heavy illness on you. But your socks, they going to get wet. When you go to heat up your food and you eat it, I hope it's still cold in the middle. Like that's the type of person I am when I get upset. Okay, but I don't like being like that.
Oh, wow. You were mentioning about your show. Tell us about that a little bit. Let's talk about ideas that you're creating right now. It's so interesting.
Oh, Complicated Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Your ideas, your show, your beautiful. You said your life is a movie. Let's hear about it.
Oh yeah, so as far as the movie aspect of it, with the Complicated Author, he was in a chat for a little bit. So I'm working with him. He brought me on to just be a part of his complicated dream, which was being one of the top people on the New York Times bestseller. He wants to create all these books, but then he introduced what he wanted to do to me, which I thought was very unique, that most people don't when they start out as small as he did, which was, hey, I want to make trailers for different chapters of the books that I write. And then at the end, I want to create a lecture to where I break down philosophical and psychological aspects of all of my characters. So that way people can feel more enthralled to go on it. So, if people type in Complicated Dreams, A Crow's Monologue, they can find it on YouTube. Right now, season 2, it just finished a while ago, but start from season 1 and just work your way up. It's a pretty cool concept. I was like, yo, nobody ever did this. Like, I don't hear about that often with these dreams. And me trying to be out there and try to put myself forward, I'm like, hey, I want to join your team. I want to help you video record these things. I want to help you, create the lectures. I want to help edit some of your books if I have the time. I just want to be a part of what you got going on because he's passionate about it. He's full throttle about it. He makes sure he stays on top of everything. He's like, oh yeah, I want complicated dreams this, complicated
Vision.
dreams that. And he wants to bring it all. If for those of you who don't know, but Richard Branson, the creator of Virgin Mobile, I did a project on him. He did similar things too. So he did Virgin Mobile. He did Virgin Magazine. He did Virgin Galactic. He did Virgin Cruises. So I see the complicated author going in the same direction. And I'm like, whoa, he's trying to be, an entrepreneur, but in the aspect of writing books. He has a whole slew of books that he already drafted out. Now it's just finishing them and tightening them up a little bit. So I wanted to be a part of that program just to flex my mental capacity and to get me involved in other things. So that's what we got going on right now. We're going to be filming, season 3 soon. So that should be fun and fantastic. I can't wait for that. But that's pretty much what I started going on. That's outside of my normal job, which is helping people with disabilities. I help make sure that they get the services that they need from their family and loved ones. So that way they don't have to go into a nursing home. They don't have to go into a care facility. They can stay where they're comfortable. I have a lot of sick people in my family, a lot of people with disabilities in my family. And one thing that I have learned with talking to all of them is everyone doesn't like hospitals. Everyone would rather stay out of a hospital than go to one. Everyone would rather be taken care of by their family and friends than being taken care of by some random person that they never met before who's going to treat them like garbage and things like that. They don't want to do that. So the fact that, again, I went from working with kids on the autism spectrum, I used to be a registered behavioral therapist, to my job now is, in that same thing. I went to school for hospitality and tourism management. I wanted to work in hotels. I used to work for the Hard Rock Casino down in AC, which was fun while it lasted there. I was on the food and beverage side of that too. I wanted to be a restaurateur, but that fell flat too. But I still am into those things. I still love those things. I still would be a part of them if I had the time in my day. But what I focus on is hospitality. Tourism management, all that stuff can get put on the side. My main focus is hospitality. How can I help as many people as possible? Everyone in my family helps people. My sister is, she's a chef. So she feeds people, makes sure food is delicious. One of my brothers, he's a trucker. So he makes sure that those stores get their deliveries that they need. So that way we can all experience life the way we want. We can always go to the grocery store, know that something is going to be there. We can always go to that convenience store knowing that our favorite toy or thing is going to be there. He helps with that. My dad, he's a maintenance man. In construction. So he helps build people's houses. He helps renovate those. I used to work with him when I was a kid. So he taught me how to help people in the smallest aspect with homes, and just the smile on their faces when we do a good job. He was like one of the only people I know who would bring his kids 5, 6, 7 years old and give them something constructive to do. So we wake up 5 a.m., go to this person's house and put in a new tile for them, break a wall down and build it back up, put in a new tub, do piping, all that. And then at the end, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I'm glad that you and your kids came and enthralled in this. Most people don't bring their kids to work every day. He brought his kids to work very often. And then my mom, she's a RN, so she helps in the nursing industry. She helps make sure people get their vitals read, and she helps make sure that their health is in order. She tells them, hey, this is what you got to do to get on a better track. If you don't want to listen, that's fine, but this is the series of getting better. My other sister, she's a part of the child study team. So she's in the school system too. She's helping kids with disabilities and behavioral issues, and she's trying to do right with them. And she's full blown going for her doctorate degree. So she's trying to do something awesome. My other brother, he worked with car salesmen. So he helps detail cars and everything like that and give them out to people. So that's also a service industry. So I've been surrounded by people who love to help others. And that
That's it.
enriched me and enriched my heart so much.
Yeah.
And I'm wealthy in that regard. You know, I might
Yeah.
not be monetarily wealthy, that just comes with time, but I am wholeheartedly wealthy in the fact that
Abundant.
I got taught to, number one, respect those that people think are beneath us. So, you know, the janitors, things
Yeah.
like that of the world. I was told to respect them and to help them whenever you see fit. You know, when you go to a place, always clean it up better than what it was left as. So, you know, if I come in, I might not make it dirty, but I know when I leave, it's going to be clean.
Yeah.
You know, when I go to restaurants and I'm finished eating, I stack all my plates. We stack all of our cups and stuff, and we move it to the edge so they don't have to go around scrounging for things. We make sure it's all nice and neat at the front so they can just thank you and off they go. So I was taught to respect and give homage to those people. So now that's just what I want to emulate throughout the rest of my life. It's just respect, love, charity, kindness, and that goes a long way. I've gotten a lot of good job opportunities just from that alone, just from being kind and being nice and being helpful. I guess, you know, as adults, like I said, we tend to lose that piece of ourselves because society can be very cruel. Society can be heartless. It can turn you heartless if you're not careful enough to guard yourself against it. And I just want something different from humanity. What I used to be told in school is, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I thought, okay, this is a great quote. And then I got older and I started seeing adult humans, emulate that in a negative way. Like, oh, we have all these history classes, but we're still in wars. We have all these history classes, but racism and classism still exist. All these isms exist still, even though we know that we can be better than that. We know that if we work together, it will be more beneficial than working apart. But the media will give, especially with politics, they'll get you to side base. Oh, go vote for all of this side for no reason whatsoever, but because it's a color. Vote for this side for no other reason than because we hate them and they're the ones doing the bad thing. Yeah. So it's no individualism anymore, and there's no unity in that individualism. It's just stay tribal, stay in your lane. Don't try to be the sheep poking his head out of the grass. You know, I mean, don't try to be that, because we're going to attack you and make sure you get back in line. So you got to find a way around that. And I think we humans, we can create a unified world, because if we do, first of all, you know, poor wouldn't even exist. Homelessness wouldn't exist. Half of the things that we got going on right now, war would be stopped, and we would figure out a way to heal the earth and have it sustain us longer than what the projected outcomes are. You know, we're so focused on space, which I love, but we can't even fix home first.
Yeah, right.
I would hate to because I see humans as parasites, but I also see them as guardians. Yeah. And that's the duality of mankind. You know, there's always going to be bad people, bad faith actors out there that want to do bad things on others. But I think there's more people that want the best for everyone. I think there's more people that want us to be on the same page a majority of the time. And if we learn to cultivate that, this world will be all the better for it. And like I said, we'll learn how to harmonize with this world. And then maybe our magical powers that we have dormant within us will start to show. You know, certain people have already honed their skills to where they can do like just feats that no one would ever think. Like the fact that people can do a 1-arm push-up, like that's a thing. You can do that. Like, or the people can do a 2-finger push-up like the monks can. That's fantastic, but everyone can get to that point. We just gotta want to get there. We gotta want the magic to come back to us. You know, the reason why we can't show it or don't have it, like the posters I got behind me, Avatar, that's one of my greatest teachers. I learned through watching shows and cartoons. A lot of the things I watch, I don't really like to watch degenerate things like that. I like to watch stuff that's going to feed me mentally and
Yeah.
help me learn how to take care of and care for others. So Avatar: The Last Airbender is the perfect example of a show that I can give you where their abilities and the world combines in harmony, and they're trying to get everybody else on that same frequency. Once we get there, the world of Avatar is not that far away.
Yeah.
You know,
We
there's already people out here that can, uh, that are telepaths, that can move things with their mind, or that can create, uh, lightning between their fingertips or something like that, just using the electrons in their body. Like all that stuff exists. We can get there. It can be more prevalent, but we got so many people saying it doesn't exist. It's
yeah.
fake. It's only fiction. It's only a lie. And
Yeah.
as I'm getting older, I'm like, all of the stuff that they're saying is fiction. Got some facts behind it. Like there's some truth to this. The
Yeah.
characters themselves are fiction, but the story that they're telling you, the lessons are fact. That's
Yeah.
real. That's reality.
The
We can
the
get there then.
the characters are more just like the ideas, right? Ideas put
Exactly.
into form. But I did
Ezekiel, we need to multiply you.
here's
Bring
the
the
beauty.
cloning machines in.
Here's the beauty of it, right? Because I agree that we live in a world that conditioned us to be certain ways, right? But it's because
Right.
of people like me, you, Rose, Stefan, like the other people on our team, other people, our
Yeah.
friends, our partners, whoever, right? I think two things I want to say because I forgot to mention it before. When you mentioned you work with kids and like even the adults were watching you and you're like, you're weird for kind of like going with kids, right? One thing that
I
I
like
learned with
being
kids,
weird though.
the one thing I learned with like because I have a kid, the one big thing I learned is like honestly, like yeah, of course, there's gonna be growth there, right? There's gonna be
Of
growth to the
course.
point that they're gonna grow up, they're gonna be adults. Yeah, we all have responsibilities. We all have to take care of ourselves and our loved ones. We all want things, cars, houses, whatever it may be, right? But like there's a level that when you're with kids, like when I'm with my kid, like my wife when she's with my kid, like of course she plays with my kid as a kid, but then there's times she'll be more of an adult. And I do the same thing, but I'm more of a kid with my kid than I am with an adult. Because
Right.
I'm almost positive in my kid's eye that I'm not even like an adult. Like
Right.
I'm just a bigger version of her. And if
Right.
anything, all that did was awaken the little kid in me, the little kid that wanted to be a kid when I was a kid. Because like I don't know, I could probably speak for you guys too, but I can speak for myself here. Where when I grew up, like just like your family was a very giving family, my family taught me to work hard, right? And
Right.
like grit your teeth and work hard because the world is kind of harsh, right? The world will beat you
Very
down
harsh.
if it can. And I
Yeah.
remember like my parents did jobs that I know they didn't love at all, but because of the betterment for the family, right? But like as they got older, I'm glad that I didn't just in my head become the adult that's like, let me just work hard and make a shit ton of money and then basically have all the money in the world but no happiness.
Right. Yeah.
Like as
Like that
I
sucks.
think it's because of the people I met in my life, especially my close friends, like their family to me. Like I grew up because like with them because like they taught me how to be like happy. So they taught me to enjoy life. Whereas when I was a kid, it was more like you have to be ready for the world, right?
Right.
And we all know the world is harsh, and we all know that it's kind of hard to do. But my kid, listen, man, she just turned 4. Let her be 4. Let her be 4. Let her enjoy
Exactly.
4. Let her enjoy 4 years old and a day later.
Because it
4 years
goes by
old,
quick.
it flies by. So
This year
what?
is almost, what I mean, this year is getting close to an
It's
end
already a
too.
quarter of the year,
We
right?
already in spring, it
Yeah.
was just fall
But
like a week
I
ago.
think the greatest reminder for us is that like live your life, right? What it essentially comes down to, right? Whether it's like if you wanna drive to work hard to like earn your life, go for it, right? But if you don't want to work as hard to make as much money to have a happier life, to spend more time with your family and your loved ones, go for it. Like there's no like definition of like this is what life should be, right? This is what like you should do in life. You should make money. You should become a millionaire. You should become a like I think you should just be like work work for peace, right? Peace of yourself, peace for the
Oh
people
yeah,
around you.
peace of
Enjoy
mind.
your time. Enjoy your time, right? And like for my kid, like she's a constant reminder for me to like ease up on myself, dude. Right? because like life is always gonna beat you down, right? Money problems are gonna come and
Constantly.
go.
Yeah.
Like
Car problems, like you
car
said
problem.
earlier,
But dude, let me tell you, when my car blew up that day after I hung out with you, I didn't scream. I wasn't upset. I just sat there like, well, shit, and I just
Yeah,
sat
like,
there,
oh,
right?
it happened,
And
you know,
Well,
let's
so go get a new one, right?
and I was just
yeah,
like,
like it's time for
no,
something
it
new.
wasn't even that. It wasn't even I'll get a new one. It was, well, this happened, right? And I had two choices. I could be pissed off about it or just be like, all right, well, first things first, let me get home. Let me get home.
Right.
I need to get home, right? So, I'm not gonna be bitter. I'm not gonna be bitter with so like the tow guy came. I had to call Geico, right? I talked to all
Oh
these
gosh,
people,
yeah,
and
you had to call
I
all of
talk.
them guys.
I talked to all these people, but I made sure I made them laugh. I made sure they enjoyed their day with talking to me. I was like talking to a lady and like she yawned and I was like, go take a nap after this. And she started like
Right,
cackling so hard. And she's like, you're funny. And I'm just like, look, man, you gotta enjoy yourself. Like, I'm having a
right,
bad day. I'm not trying to spread that to anybody else, whatever. But like the other thing to that, also is like it does change you in a way that like because of the way I started to be with my daughter, my wife, my friends, my family, right? Like, because of course I'm an adult, but I still want to keep that kid in me, right? But like you said, like magic doesn't necessarily need to be I can cast fireballs, I can bend water, I can fly, I
right.
can teleport, right? We already are magical people. The fact that we
Yes.
have the ability to make people laugh, smile, feel motivated, right? Like I like the little things that make me feel good are like if I see someone not having a good day or they're not smiling, I give them mine. You know, I spend a little like I've been radically I think I said this before. I'm being radically honest. So whatever I feel, I just say now, right? So I was like with like a user the other day, and we are talking, and the entire time she's talking, I see like her nails are like painted green, like a very pretty green, right? And
Mm.
like I I help her with her concerns and whatever. I was like, all right, I'll take a look at it, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, really nice nails, right? I was like, I love that color. It looks great on you, right? And like she like lit up. Like she like her whole day went from like it's like only Wednesday, blah blah. And she's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
thank you
right.
so much. Like I couldn't like she's like I couldn't decide if I wanted to do this color or not. I was like, you nailed it. You fucking nailed it. It looks great. And
And
I
you get
know
a long conversation out of that
yeah.
sometimes,
And
you know, like
now
then
like
that.
whenever she sees me, she smiles. Whenever like you can really turn around people and say, tell me that's not fucking magical. Tell me
Just from
that
them
is
looking
not
at you too,
magical. Yeah,
like,
just
oh,
your
I
presence,
remember that
dude.
one instance with this person that
So
made me smile. Now I have to smile when I
so
see
like
them because
so
of that instance.
some of the stuff I started doing. So I told you that there was like that lady that made me that rap, and I
Yeah.
now I tell her every single day. I'm like, I look forward to this every day. I'm like, I like every time I get this food from you, I like my mouth starts salivating. Like I always make some sort of
Right.
joke or just and like she lights up when she sees me. Like I remember there's times where I saw her cooking and she's focused and like not smiling. Right? She looks up, she
Mm.
sees me. Ah, the biggest grin on her face, bro. The biggest grin just shows up, and she's like, "Hey, honey, how are you?" And I was like, "Well,
Yeah, it
I'm
just
about to have some
completely
banging food.
changes the
Like I'm
dynamics of
ready."
the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started to ask people like their names, like especially people I see on a daily basis. I'm like,
Mm.
yo, like, what's your name, right? And they're like, why, right? Because like they're conditioned that like they're nobodies in the sense of like so
Right.
my
Like, this
building,
person wants to know me?
like my
What's
no,
for? Is it
my my
nefarious?
my building has a cafe like on like my company where we get free coffee or free tea or
Oh,
whatever you
nice.
want. So I always get like a few coffees throughout the day, right? And these guys like, dude, this coffee tastes better than like Starbucks coffee to me, right? And like better than like coffee that you can just buy real quick, right?
Yeah.
So I asked them, I was like, oh, like what's your guys' names? And like they told me their names, but they looked at me like that. And the forest, they're like what? Like, are you gonna complain? Like, because they're conditioned
Yeah,
that
like if there's something wrong.
because look, they make coffee, they put it down, people come, they say thank you, of course, or maybe
And
they
then they
don't,
just
and they
grab it
walk
and
away.
go. Yeah.
I show up and I go, yo, what's your name? And then they're like, oh yeah, my name's like I won't use their real names. They're like, oh, my name's Chris, right? And I'll be like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. Well, Chris, this coffee is gonna make me get through the fucking day. I just want to like shout out to you, dude. This coffee is amazing, right? And he pauses and he's like, oh, thanks, man. Like you didn't say all that,
Yeah.
right? And then I told the same thing to the girl, and like now every time I go to get my coffee, like I walk in the morning, I'm like, good morning, guys. Like, how you guys doing today? How's your weekend? How's your day going, right? And I was like, dude, honestly, I was like, if it wasn't for your coffee, like I'd be doing drugs at this point to make it through the day. And then they'll start like cracking up and laughing and like whatever. But like it's these little jokes that now, even if I don't come for coffee, but I walk by them, they're like, "Oh, hey, Sanjay, what's going
Like,
on?"
hey, like, what
I'm
you
like, "Hey,
doing?
what's up?
Yeah,
What's
they'll
up?"
ask
And
about you
they
and
were
see
like,
how
"Hey,
you
no
are.
coffee today?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna need that hit later when I have like 3 meetings and stuff like that." But I go out of my way to say hi to people. I go out of my way to say like comments, especially when I can. Um, and
Now
it's
imagine
it.
if everyone did that every single
But
day,
see, that's
then
the
we would
thing.
be neighborly again.
But
You
that's the thing,
know,
right? So,
like,
like you said, there's gonna be people that exist that don't do that, right?
Bring
And
that back.
we can't. It's not.
yes,
You guys both have to understand. We are bringing it back.
yes,
We've been doing this a lot
us
better.
three right here.
No, no, not just us three. People have been doing that back a lot better, right? So of course,
Mm,
war, right? Famine, homelessness, all that stuff exists. It's a hard trip to get through, right? But are we
Very.
better than we were 5 years ago? Yes. Are we better than we were 10 years ago? Even better than 5 years ago. Or not better, but we are
Yeah, we
progressing,
are
people.
making progress.
We
Yeah, we are trying
maybe
to get
not
there.
at the grand steps that we would love to see, like me, you, Rose, like maybe not at that escalation, but take a step back, take a look at the bigger picture. There are people that are shining out there. There are people exposing their level of magic to the world. We don't see it
Right.
as much because like we do see the darker side of things, right? But I think because of me and the like I think we talked about this very lightly. We won't get too deep into it, but like I've dwelled enough in the dark to see how much light there actually is in the world. And I know I sit here and I dwell in it so peacefully, right? But like there's times that I'll sit there and I remember like I went to go get coffee once, right? And this guy, business guy, suitcase, AirPods in, talking loudly on his business meeting, right? He made him walk by like a homeless guy, and I'm like, damn, I really should get him food, but I really didn't have money, right? And I was like, maybe I'll just buy him a coffee, right? The business guy goes in front of me, orders his coffee, orders 2 coffees. I was like, what the hell? He orders some food, and I was like, all right, this guy's getting his food, and I'm about to order my coffee. I look back and I'm like, damn it, maybe I'll get like a second coffee. This guy starts walking out nonchalantly, doesn't say anything to the homeless guy, like, hey, how are you? How's your what's your name, right? Just passes him coffee, food, and just continues walking. He doesn't acknowledge walking by him. He doesn't acknowledge saying hi to him, going in and going out. He's like, here's your food, goodbye. Right? He's like, I got you, right? And the guy
Right.
was like so grateful and stuff like that. And it's like, there's no reason. Like sometimes there's people who go out there to do it, so like maybe they're seen doing it or things like that. But I see
Yeah.
little pieces of magic almost every fucking day. This like my daughter. This is a perfect example, okay? And it's New York, right? New York's a jungle. My daughter would be on the subway, and she's in her dress, and like people are like, "Oh my gosh, she looks cute." They'll just start talking. They'll just start talking to her. They're like, "Oh, what's your name, princess?" And she's like, "Oh, my name's Lily. Today's my birthday." She was holding like a giant cat. They started to get to know her. Who needs to do that? Nobody.
Right.
But the fact that people did shows that there are plenty of people like us, and they're getting there, right? It's not where we want it to be, guys, for sure. But yo, there is beauty in every day. There is magic in every day. Yeah, I can't shoot a fireball like Liu Kang, right? But yo, let me tell you, me being able to flip somebody's smile and the rest of the day they're feeling good, that is the most powerful version of love and magic
Equally as good.
you could fucking
I'll take
exactly.
that too.
So like even the fact like listen, I know that this like we wish things were better. Oh, absolutely, every single day, right? But guess what? We are the better every day. We are the better people. We are the better magic that we want to see every day. And I'm proud of us. I really am. And like I think that's why Zeke, you and I, like I can relate to you very, very well. Because like we kind of grew up with that same kind of nature, and we both hit realizations that I was just like, this is the way we should be. Not just like as ourselves, but as human beings, right? And like dude, I'm telling you, sorry, go out there, right? Like because I know you're gonna spend your day out there. Rose, you too. Like we're gonna spend our day out there, right? We're gonna see stuff that's gonna make us sad, but if you go to look for stuff that's gonna make you happy, I promise you, you're gonna see much more of that than you think that you thought you saw. If
Oh,
that
I
makes sense.
agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, I agree. It's
I'm
just
dying. But
Like, because like you said, more people are
Your
more
glass
people
is
just
half
want to
full.
become and relax. So
yeah,
more people want to be happy. So you're going to definitely see people enjoying out the outdoors today because it's such a nice day. You're definitely like last night, um, which is it's rare around our around where I live, but it does happen. But last night the kids were outside playing tag, so I'm hearing them running around and talking to each other and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting there just listening. I turn the TV down so I could just hear what they're going on, and they're having a ball. And it's dark, and but we live in a nice apartment complex. The kids go to the same
Safe.
schools. They all
Hmm.
kind of chill with each other. Even my neighbors are neighborly, like, "Hey, neighbor, what's up? What's going on? What do you got going on today?" Or "This weather is crazy, right?" Just simple small talk like that. And I'm glad to be in a spot where we are friendly. The kids are playing with each other. They are out at night, and they feel safe enough, and their parents feel safe enough that where they can be out at night and enjoy their time as kids, because that's important. That again, that stuff is it needs to be elevated. That needs to happen more often than not. And if we can get every place to kind of get to that point, the world will be better for it, man. And I
yeah,
know for a fact that we're going to see more positive
Cheers to that.
out in the days
absolutely. Yeah,
than
that's gonna
negatives.
be the
Cheers
cheers
to
part right
that.
there.
Yeah.
Cheers
Cheers
to
to
that. Cheers
because
Be a
to that.
freaking ray of sunshine, y'all. Be a
yes,
freaking ray of sunshine.
Yes,
honestly,
you bring so much radiance to our show. We're really grateful to have you today, Ezekiel. It's such an amazing
Oh,
honor.
thank you,
It's
thank
such
you.
so much positive energy as our chat is blooming about your positive energy. We definitely would like to see your show, would like all of the things coming to fruition in life. And we need people like you. We are people like with the radiance, positive energy. We need to multiply. And that is why we do have and we do what we do here at Motivation Station just to bring that over. And the world needed to hear your story.
yeah, no,
And
Yes,
here
thank
absolutely.
you
we
so much
are.
for
We
having me
definitely
on. I,
need
I
you.
appreciate y'all because
We
I've seen a couple of shows before today, and I'm like, oh, they got something great going
yeah,
on. I'm loving the
We
conversations that
have
y'all having.
beautifully, our community is
I think
growing. We do have 3,500 views. We're very grateful for
Ooh, nice,
everyone who
nice.
investing their beautiful hours, grabbing our beautiful energy techniques, our beautiful quotes every time we hear someone always share the quotes. There's so many beautiful things that you can grab from this show and just bring that radiance. Be neighborly and
Yes.
kill with kindness.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I'm telling
yeah.
you, Motivation Station is it.
Appreciate
This is where y'all want to
appreciate.
be.
I think more than anything as well. Also, like we'll definitely have you on the show again because I'll be honest, we probably only did like half of the conversations that we wanted to talk about per
Right,
se.
yeah, we did want to cover a lot more
But
too. We
like
wanted to cover the
just
serious stuff, but
but like
We could
it's
do
more.
part two.
I think
yes,
I
definitely. I would
think
love it.
I think the beauty of it, like especially with this episode and what you showed and what we just talked about, right? It boils down to like just like be yourself, right? It just like be yourself because like you being yourself is the most authentic version of you that you can be and show the world. And look at what it does, right? It's a radiant. It's almost infectious. And I said it as a quote in the past episode, like it's so infectious that like if you want to be down and negative, you're gonna spread that around you, right? But if you want to be
Yeah.
up and rising and be a sunshine, you're gonna spread that as well. So you can choose what you're gonna be that day. But like above all, it's like be yourself. I think it's like the most authentic, most beautiful thing that anyone could ever be. um
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, no, once again, Zeke, yo, thanks for being part of our episode, and I'll definitely have you on again. I know I got some people that want to like be on the show again, but listen, we're gonna get this ball rolling. We're gonna connect on not just Motivation Station. We got complicated, dreams, going for us,
Can't
and
wait.
Oh.
yeah, I was like, yeah, that was
I was like, wait, this is the
happening.
wrong thing. I forgot it's
um,
reflected.
I gotta get myself a shirt too. But we got
Yes,
that
get
to
y'all
talk
shirts.
about. 2026 is gonna be a fantastic year. But again,
It's
dude,
already here. It's already
I
cheers.
amazing.
know, right? It's like
Cheers to this amazing podcast. And listen, we'll talk to you soon again. But definitely have a motivated day. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Definitely so,
Thank
sir.
you.
Definitely
See you
so.
soon.
All right, brother. Take care.
Y'all as well.
Oh
Oh
my
man,
God. Everything is
listen.
dying on me right now. I have 2 minutes.
Listen.
It
I just
was
want to
an
say too.
amazing show.
I am so happy I was able to grab him and get him on here because I'm telling you when we sat down for that lunch, it was literally the second we sat down to the second we hugged each other and left in the car, non-stop talking. Non-stop talking, and I was like, this guy is just full of it, like energy, and he needs to be on here. But I'm very grateful that he was able to make some time. Beautiful lessons to be learned. We are you know like food for thought, honestly. Like these things, like we're magic. We really are. Human beings are actual magical beings, and like how much we can do is just unbelievable, and there's unlimited potential to to this level of motivation. And again, to our fans and our viewers, subscribers, thank
Thank
you for
you
being part of the
so
journey, honestly. Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the likes, shares, comments every single Saturday at 11 a.m. You are here, and your energy is definitely gratitude enormously appreciated. Morgan, I wish you safe travels. Stefan, great for coming in, and of course, thank you so much, Ezekiel, for being our guest today. It's so much energy. I think that energy is great to share with the whole world, not just in the small shows, with the whole world. Bring that in. Don't lose that.
And
Hi,
here's
happy
the star.
birthday, Lily. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, little princess. Happy birthday to you. Motivation Station loves you, Lily.
Happy birthday. Okay. Thanks again for being part of the show, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night. Take
Bye
care. Have
bye.
a motivated day.
Bye bye.